Hello, I wish to consider an update to my theory of physics. I now believe it is 4 holistic theories integrated into a fifth one. The fifth one doesn't really exist. The other 4 are bifurcation, a biological fractal, and a tetrad, duplicate tetrad, and the Karkamar equations. The 8 terms in the Karkamar equations are the infinitesimal, the integral, the modulus, the iterator, the radical, gamma, pi, and e, taken bicyclically or according to a Bessel function. Integral points at a Bessel function or elliptic integral simultaneously. I was wish to add the Riemann zeta function admits 6 solutions per equation, 3 of each per true, false, and quasi-true, quasi-false at the same time. 3 things: true, 1, false, 2, quasi-true, quasi-false, 3. The tetrad is essentially a tetrad with 2 lines per each side of the tetrahedron, meaning at points in which each one is a conjunctive math or physics idea. It's essentially mathematical physics. It's a Buddhist form of quantum gravity. The biological fractal is essentially a 3-dimensional fractal, 5-dimensional fractal, which admits biological life forms. Don't know much about that. The Karkamar equations are essentially correct as I described them. The condition of non-existence is fundamental, for no 3 things exist simultaneously at the same time. Only one is perceived in absolute end reality. The absolute grounding force that platonically the components of the universe, that consistent of 800 ideas that make up the universe, or 880 or whatever, compositely work in an reverse direction to the fundamental rules of the universe, which constitute a very low count. It stops at 3. And the universe is essentially Platonic plus first-order logic, second and first-order logic composited, which is essentially non-existent, since the 2 are both countable and uncountable. Thus, admitting an admittance of Gödel's theorem for 2 sides of the triangle for a right triangle for the Pythagorean theorem, meaning that the 2 sides cannot be equal. That being said, the universe is never symmetric, but the 2 sides cannot be equal. Therefore, the 2 sides both being the Gödel hypothesis, Gödel incompleteness theorem, is essentially non-existent, or at least probably 3 things I would estimate. 5 things. 6 things. Now that I think of it, 6 things. I'm not really thinking here, but 6 things, meaning it's both some kind of composite of quasi-true, quasi-false, true, and false, for example. It might serve to be 4 of them, but I would also say it might even be like something that's true, unreal, or false, taken in pairs. No, it's 4.5 and 1.5. You may find that highly asymmetric, thinking of something as being 4 different things, quasi-false and quasi-true, and 1 different thing. I'll have to get back to more on that. This is probably my deepest lecture yet. I'm working compositely with the voices of Brian Watkins and David Landon, both of Salt Lake City, Utah, on a grand unified theory of physics. When we find that the biological fractal is essentially biology, the Buddhist quantum gravitational tetrad is essentially mathematical physics. The Karkamar equations, the 36 Karkamar equations, are essentially physics, 6 things simultaneously. And the bifurcation theorem, that everything is dividing, is essentially mathematics. That's essentially what the universe is. And compositely leads to a ring of 88 particles spread according to a quasi harmonic/harmonic series in spacing. It doesn't really exist in any complete form. It had long been theorized by theologians that it was actually 119 particles on a ring, like gluons, for example. I don't think it's actually that. It might be gluons. I think it's something else, like it might be photons or something strange like that, or gravitons even. Yeah, it probably is gravitons. Anyway, I'll get more back at this. That's my new theory of the universe for now.